A 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
More than 4 years, the automaker CEO seeming to break ranks with much of corporate America right now, delivering some harsh words about President Trump's tariff plan.
Imagine stepping into your neighborhood showroom and watching the sticker price jump before your eyes. Hundreds of dollars added overnight, with zero extra chrome to show for it. That shock isn't a sales gimmick. It's the fallout from the White House's new 25 tariff on Japanese cars, a move that just cracked open the smooth-running Pacific supply chain that's powered our garages for 40 years. So, what's actually happening under the hood? In July 2025, President Trump slammed a quarter-sized import tax on vehicles rolling in from Japan, and, surprise, that duty also slaps any car built in Kentucky or Mississippi if its guts trace back to Tokyo. Toyota and Honda admit they can't dodge it. Even a RAV4 that says "Made in the USA" carries enough Japanese DNA to qualify for the fee. Result? Showroom tags ballooned by $300 to $200 in a single week. Detroit's first reaction was a fist pump. Finally, a chance to reclaim market share. But celebration turned to panic when suppliers warned that 25 at the border snowballs into an industry-wide cost spiral. Think transmissions, battery cells, even seat fabrics components crisscross the Pacific multiple times before final assembly. Break one gear and the whole drivetrain grinds. Japan is firing back. Tokyo's opening volley, a 15 surcharge on American corn. Corn may sound folksy, but Japan buys more than 11 million tons a year, mostly from Iowa and Nebraska. If that demand shifts to Brazil or Thailand, Midwestern farmers will feel the punch long before Christmas. Next, Japan's airlines threaten to mothball or outright cancel orders for Boeing Dreamliners, eyeing Airbus A350s instead. And just to twist the knife in Silicon Valley, export licenses for rare earth magnets and photoresist chemicals now sit in bureaucratic limbo, inching US chip lines closer to idle. Washington isn't standing still. Officials hint the tariff club could swing wider battery modules, ECUs, even tires might be next. One senior aide growled, "If they want our market, they can buy our oil," linking tariff relief to long-term contracts for Alaska crude. The threat then drifted over to rice political dynamite in Japan, where farmers guard their paddies like sacred ground. Suddenly, the trade fight isn't just about cars. It's about sushi and ethanol and everything in between. Consumers are already paying. Before the tariff, the average new car ticket in the US sat at $46,600. After just 4 weeks of price hikes, that number edged past $47,300. Economists at the Chicago Fed say the policy could tack an extra 0.15 percentage points onto inflation by year-end and shave 0.25 points off production growth through 2026. Stretch that across a 60-month auto loan and you're staring at an extra $1,200 in interest alone. And the second-hand lot? CarMax data shows 3-year-old Prius and Camry prices jumping 5% almost overnight. Dealers figure new Japanese inventory will thin out, so they're hoarding what they've got. If tariffs climb to 50, your used hybrid might suddenly be an appreciating asset, something no one said out loud since the 70s. Automakers aren't just sitting in the pit lane. Nissan's Smyrna plant has launched Redstone 90, a crash project to lift domestic content to 70% within 6 months. Trouble is, tool Andy makers say the presses and molds won't be ready till next year. Toyota's pouring $1.3 billion into a North Carolina battery megafactory, while Honda couples up with LG Energy in Ohio. Great, except none of those lines hit max output until 2027. Until then, sticker shock is the new normal. Meanwhile, over in Brussels, the European Union likes the idea of universal tariffs, so long as turbo diesels and luxury handbags get a hall pass. Germany wants commercial vehicles exempt. France wants a bigger slice of F-35 contracts in exchange for playing nice. It's tariff theatre with subtitles, and every capital is scrambling for its own backstage pass. Wall Street is spooked for a different reason. Japan holds $1.05 trillion in US treasuries. If Tokyo dumps even a slice to fund stimulus at home, bond yields spike and the dollar wobbles. Traders whisper that if Japan sells, South Korea might follow. The Fed says the market can absorb it, but nobody wants to be the test case. Energy is another pressure point. The US is begging Japan to lock in a decades-long deal for Alaska LNG to sweeten the mood. Tokyo, sensing leverage, is loading up on Australian and Qatari spot cargoes instead. Until that contract ink dries, America's gas boom sits in suspense. Forecast time. Deloitte's crystal ball shows Japanese brands shedding 200,000 US sales a year if tariffs stay through 2027, while Chinese and Korean rivals building in tariff-free Mexico grab 150,000 of those keys. In plain English, the Detroit trio doesn't automatically win. They're just first in line for extra government incentives. A $5 billion battery credit package is floating through Congress, but libertarians call it corporate welfare, and Democrats want climate strings attached. Delay that bill and Motor City faces the storm alone. Politically, the math is brutal. Toyota, Honda, Nissan, and Subaru directly employ 90,000 American workers, many in deep red states. Tariffs that hurt Yokohama could lay off voters in Tuscaloosa, and that's a memo every campaign manager understands. So where does this war end? Behind closed doors, both sides are hunting for a pause button. Think temporary suspension, maybe a quota system, anything to cool tempers before the November elections. If they don't find it, the global auto price map shifts to brand new meridians. Midwest farmers, Gulf Coast LNG crews, Detroit line workers, and yes, you at the showroom, all paying the toll. What do you think, smart negotiating tactic or reckless gamble? Drop your take below. And if you want to keep your finger on the world's economic pulse, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more twists speeding down the track. See you in the next video.